I go by a few names. Franchise, it's when I rhyme. Chyze is when I do a lot of production for people and produce. So I do a little bit of everything, you know, as far as music is concerned. Whether it's live instrumentation or MIDI, keyboards, and sampling.
How do you go about choosing your names?
Well, franchise was given to me.
Okay.
I seen my friend, I believe it was 2 weeks before he passed away. I spit some rhymes for him. He made a comment about something with franchise. He was like, yo, you franchising it. And it always stuck in my head like that. And then when he passed, I said, let me take that name, you know. Thought it was dope.
You were writing rhymes and performing when you were like 12 or 14. What made you apply to IAR for engineering?
Engineer. Well, I always fell in love with the dude behind the craft of it. You know what I mean? And I always had an ear for just like old school records and stuff like that. And I guess Quincy Jones really. Like when I first heard like the Thriller album or Off the Wall, and everybody loved Michael, but I was like, who's the dude, you know, behind the scenes? Who's the dude that's producing the tracks? And then you find out who the engineer was, Bruce Weedy, and then I was just like, yo, I want to do that too. Like that's dope, you know. Instead of depending on another dude to try to translate what I'm trying to say through the music, I was like, I could do it myself.
Which do you like more, engineering or rapping?
That's a good question. I love them both, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's the best of both worlds. You really can't choose, you know, what you like. It's like when you come home from working and you got dinner on and you don't want to eat the same meal every day, so you switch it up and the next week you eat something different. And I love them both. I really can't. That's like telling a kid to choose his favorite toy. You know.
What do you think of the state of hip hop music right now?
It's just, I don't know. It's just terrible the way it is. I mean, as far as sales go, sales is really bad. You know, I don't know how artists could survive. You know, independent is really the only way now. But the state of hip hop is just, I don't know, substance in there. It's like eating fast food every day. You don't got that home cooked meal, and nobody's providing that meal. Nobody's no knowledge is being spread. It's all the same chamber. Yeah.
Do you think you can be an asset to the hip hop community?
Definitely. I mean, hip hop is what's beautiful about it. Well, back in, you know, the golden age, everybody did their own thing. You know, they had their own thing. Like the Beastie Boys would do this. They brought the rock side a little bit, and then you had like Wu-Tang do their joint, and then you had like Biggie do his joint, and like Biggie was so amazing that he created something, and then everybody just fell in love with that, and they just jumped on that. So that's just getting watered down right now. So you gotta always go around it. You can't stay in that same box there. You gotta get out of there. Yeah.
Why do you consider yourself to be one of the last true MCs?
Well, the definition of MC, you know, is the master of ceremony. You know, the MC teaches the children, and I feel like nobody's doing that right now. You can't keep talking about the same stuff and think you're gonna you know, survive like that. You got this opportunity to speak to so many people, and you choose to say that to them. I mean, come on now, you know. And I'm not gonna call no names, but you got that opportunity where you could reach so much and you could change the world, but instead you deliver poison to the people. You know, you can't do that. That's just wrong. Like, how could you sleep? How could you fall asleep at night? You can't.
How are you going about promoting yourself and creating a buzz?
Well, I do right now. I've been doing a lot of production for people. I just been producing a lot of artists and just working on there. I actually took my craft. It took a backseat, you know, but I just started producing other people. So through them, you know what I mean. They show me love and I show them. It's like, you know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and that's basically how I create the buzz, through word of mouth. You know, people like you.
Thank you. You made a video for One for the Ages. What was that experience like?
Well, One for the Ages was a dope record. The way it came about was this dude named Criminal Logic. He played the sample for me. I heard the record, decided to chop it up, throw the drums over it, and everything like that. And that's how the track was born. The video was directed by A1. Shout out to him. And the concept, we had no budget for it. We spent money just on the camera. We had to rent the camera, and that was the budget there. And like the light, we had to set up the lighting ourselves. We did it all. It was all gritty, and it was a hard experience. That's why it's so hard to do film. That's why I take my hat off to you. You know what I mean? Because like film is just, it's difficult. I don't know how y'all do it. You need a budget for anything. You need a crew to set up. We set up everything. There's a shot where you see where I'm nailing pieces pages out of my books of rhymes, and I'm putting them up on the wall. And we had to do that. It took like 3 hours to cover the whole wall, because it was just an idea I had. I was like, that's dope, so let's do it. So it took like 3 hours just to do that, not including the shots. So it was just, I never want to do it again like that. I want a crew.
Where can people go to see that video?
They could go to YouTube to see it. They could go to the MySpace, Chyze Mentals, ChyzeMentals. Chyze Mentals.
What's the name of your album and when does it drop?
Well, I got a few projects. That's what's crazy about it, is that I have so many projects. The Masterpiece, I dropped this joint called Masterpiece Theater, which I gotta hit you with a copy before you get out of here, which is just an instrumental album. And it was just to feed people who love beats and people who love to kick freestyles over beats. So I gave that, and that's just like a free giveaway. That was just like here, and it got the beats on there. Then I got another project that I'm doing, which is Sonnet 19, that should be out. I mean, I've been pushing this album back because I'm such a perfectionist. I'm hoping I could get it out by the end of the year. And I got this other joint called The First Dosage, which is just like all my favorite people I admire and I collaborated with. They just come together and they're just on the project. So that's gonna be out real soon.
Why did you give away beats for free? Why?
That's, well, I mean, it's just like sharing the wealth. It's like a person who has wisdom and they're not gonna share it with nobody. Like, what's your real purpose? You know what I mean? I can make a beat 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? So it's just really on love. You know what I mean? I love the people. That's what I do it for. It is for the people.
What can we expect on this album, Sonnet 19?
It's just the truth. Just exploiting the government, the way they treat my people, and just basically the truth. That's really what you can expect on there. Stuff to make you feel good. You know what I mean? I see mothers come home from work and they depressed and they can't stand their work environment, and they don't want to do what they do. So when you put my CD in, it's gonna escape you from that reality. You know, it's just basically like a drug, a serum.
Spit something from your album, anything?
I could spit something from the album, because a lot of dudes, they'll get up here and they'll be like, I freestyle, and they just really spitting some shit that's, you know what I mean? But like, you know, the true art of freestyling is it's just coming off the top. But I'll give you something called American Dreams. This is off the Sonnet 19 joint. Constitution, contradiction, communism, conviction. It's marketing. More money is put in the prisons, fuck the schools. I could barely afford to claim my religion. Born statistic, babies having babies, just more production in this modern day slavery. Water fountain segregation, native woman rape, pillage and move to reservation. Practically seized with unfamiliar disease. Man-made Ebola, chemical warfare, Hiroshima's mutilation, West Nile skin irritation, cover up of kingfish lungs, assassination, nuclear power plants, radiation. You see the poor man can't afford medication. We could feed the world, wipe the flies from the child's eyes. Instead we insert textbook lies while the hood be dining over the devil's pie. Pastors, priests, brothers and rabbis, religion was meant to unite, but all it did was divide.